Why buy expensive beef bone broth from the store when you can make it at home with scraps you would normally throw away? This is a really simple process, but it does take a while, so let me show you how. Start by placing your bones on a sheet pan in the oven at 450 degrees, along with any vegetables that you are including in your broth. I baked them for an hour, flipping halfway through. This is really going to deepen the flavor of your broth. It's not totally necessary, but I do recommend it. Add your bones to a crock pot along with any other vegetables and seasonings you want. I added a splash of apple cider vinegar because that helps draw out the nutrients from the bones even further. Add what you like: carrots, celery, different herbs, bay leaves, any scraps you have, throw it in here, and then we are going to fill it up with water. Now you can also use an instant pot for this, and you would just do high pressure for 2 hours. This would give you the same result, but I'm doing a crock pot, which I am going to simmer for about 24 hours. Of course, you can always do the really traditional way as well and just simmer it on low on your stovetop in a big stock pot. Once it's done, it should look like this. The broth itself will have this really deep golden color. That's how you know she's ready. Start straining your broth. I'm just pulling out the big chunks and putting them into a colander with a bowl underneath, and then I started scooping with a measuring cup and then just ended up pouring the rest into my bowls. A mesh strainer is just fine, but if you want a really clear broth, then I recommend using a cheesecloth as well. Then your broth is going to go into the fridge or just sit on the counter until you get the fat that rises to the top, and then we're going to scrape that off because it can bubble up and affect our seals when we go to can our broth. Of course, you can save that tallow for cooking later. Now I'm filling my jars with the cold broth. Technically, the approved canning method is heating your broth back up before filling your jars, but I am a rebel canner and the canner heats it up just fine in my opinion, so I don't do that. Wipe your rims really well, add your lids and your rings, and then place them into your pressure canner. Now, most pressure canners take 3 quarts of water to prep the canner, but always check your manual. And then you're going to process pints for 20 minutes, quarts for 25 minutes. Instagram now gave me access to longer reels, so I can do a deep dive into pressure canning if you're interested. Let me know. Once that processing time is done, cut the heat and bring the pressure all the way down to 0. Open up your lid, pull your jars out, place them on your counter to seal, and then you just made homemade bone broth.